When Lucy Chen walked into the LAPD, everyone, including her own training officer, thought she'd break. But instead of folding under pressure, she became one of the most fearless, unshakable officers on the force. From a nervous rookie to one of the boldest officers on the force. Lucy's evolution is the heart of the rookie, so let's rewind the clock and break down the entire story of Lucy Chen. Lucy Chen's journey starts in the pilot, and right away you see that her life is not picture perfect. She shows up as a rookie under Tim Bradford, who is basically the toughest guy you could ever get stuck with. But Lucy is different. She's smart, bold, and even admits that with 2 psychologists for parents, joining the force was her way of rebelling. And honestly, it fits her. She doesn't want the easy path, she wants her own. Then comes that scene you can't forget. Lucy, in full uniform, pushed her beat-up 1977 Datsun down the street because it broke down just 2 blocks away. That was the first time we saw the real Lucy. She is a girl chasing her dream while dragging along all the mess of real life. A broken down car, a tiny apartment, and a life that didn't look easy at all. But she kept going because quitting was never her style. But Lucy's story in season 1 wasn't just about her training. She had a secret relationship with John Nolan, something that had to end the moment Talia Bishop warned her about the stigma it could bring. It hurt, but Lucy did what she always does. She kept moving forward. Her battles didn't stop there. She lost her home, had to start over, and even clashed with her own father. For Lucy, nothing ever came easy, and maybe that's why people noticed her. From the start, she wasn't just another rookie in uniform. She was someone fighting to carve out her way, no matter how tough the path is. Season 2 of Lucy Chen's story was a roller coaster that pushed her in every possible way. It started with her trying to earn the smallest bit of freedom. She passed her midterm, but Bradford still made her wear long sleeves because, as he said, he controlled every part of his rookie. Lucy was not the type to back down. She made a bet with him, set him up on a date, and when she won, she finally got the short sleeves she wanted. It was a little win, but for her it means a lot. Things picked up fast after that. She moved in with Jackson West, teamed up with Nyla Harper, and got mocked with the nickname Not Nolan. Lucy hated the way people mocked her, but she kept pushing, and just when she was finally standing tall, her world slipped into darkness. She met Caleb Wright, who seemed charming, but ended up being the most horrible chapter of her life. On their first date, he drugged and kidnapped her. He locked her in a barrel and buried her alive. She fought, but in the end, it was Tim Bradford who pulled her out and saved her life. After that, Lucy went through panic attacks. She tried to pull herself back, and everyone was shocked when she mistakenly auditioned for American Idol. By the end of season 2, she carried her scars, but came out stronger and ready to fight for her place. Season 3 changed a lot for Lucy Chen. It all began when she crossed paths with Tamara Collins, a homeless girl who tried to steal her car. Most people would have walked away, but Lucy didn't. She brought Tamara close. At first, Tamara kept her guard up and slowly started to trust Lucy. It showed how much heart Lucy carried behind the badge. This season also planted the seed for her future. Lucy started getting serious about undercover work. She wanted more than just patrol, but her personal life hit her hard when Emmett broke up with her through a simple text. It crushed her, and she spent time trying to figure out why. But life did not stop for heartbreak. Soon after, she was promoted to police officer 2 and started patrolling with Jackson West. Later, things took a darker turn when Harper put her through a brutal test. Lucy believed that she had been taken by a violent dealer and was forced to watch Harper suffer, but she didn't know that it was a brutal test to see if Lucy would break, and she didn't. She proved she was ready. That strength came full circle in the finale. Lucy went undercover as a chemist, putting herself in the middle of a dangerous drug ring. Her cover almost slipped when she came face to face with LaFera, but she stood her ground until backup arrived. By the end of the season, Lucy was no longer the same rookie. Now, she's become stronger and ready to survive whatever comes next. Season 4 was heavy for Lucy Chen. It started with heartbreak when she lost Jackson West. The grief hit her so hard that leaned on Bradford for support, even staying at his place just so she didn't have to sit in the silence of her own apartment. While the others went to Guatemala, Lucy stayed back and took down Jackson's killer. The hardest moment came later when she walked back into her home and saw Jackson's room. It was untouched, like he was still living there. Not long after, Tamara moved in with Lucy, and it looked like like she was slowly filling Jackson's empty space and giving Lucy a new kind of family to protect. She returned to patrol, sometimes riding with Nolan, other times with Bradford, who had now become a sergeant. Her job and personal life started crossing lines. She clashed with Ada Chris Sanford over cases, and that soon turned into a fake dating scenario, but Chenford's connection only kept growing. And by the end of the season, when they went undercover and shared that practice kiss, it was obvious that something more had started between them. Season 5 gave Lucy Chen some of her toughest moments that tested her job and heart. It kicked off with her and Bradford going undercover in Las Vegas as Jake Butler and Sava Wu. While they pulled off the job, the night ended in horror when Lucy found Sanford bleeding out in her apartment, left for dead by Rosalind Dyer. She and Tim rushed him to the hospital, shaken by how close he came to dying. Lucy stayed by Sanford's side, refusing to leave for Sacramento when she was offered advanced undercover training. Even when he begged her to go, she wouldn't abandon him. It wasn't until Bradford stepped in that she finally decided to take the leap. A month later, she returned stronger, having finished undercover school, but her personal life was already falling apart. Sanford pushed her to buy a house, while she kept leaning toward Bradford. By mid-season, the tension broke. Lucy ended things with Sanford and finally said yes to a date with Tim. Their first date didn't go smoothly, but it didn't matter. By the end, the spark between them was clear. When they finally kissed, it was no longer just a tease. Chenford had become real. Even with their growing romance, Lucy kept proving herself as an undercover officer, going deep into dangerous assignments, including one alongside Tim's ex-wife, Isabel. Season 5 was where Lucy's career reached new heights, and her relationship with Bradford finally began. Season 6 showed a very different side of Lucy Chen. Lucy and Bradford shared a lovely dance at Nolan and Bailey's wedding, but the peace didn't last. She took the detective's exam and ended up scoring 17th out of 20. It left her disappointed, but she didn't let it break her. Then came the shooting case, and it took her straight into danger. The victim survived, but the weight of that moment stayed heavy on her. But the hardest blow came with Bradford. When his military past resurfaced, he kept her in the dark, leaving Lucy to struggle with secrets that weren't hers. She still stood by him, helping him take down Ray, only for him to break her heart at the end. Just when she was ready to forgive the lies, Bradford walked away, and that cut deeper than anything else. The season showed just how tough Lucy really is. Even when she was hurting inside, she never stopped moving. She always holds on to both her dreams and her feelings. And despite the breakup, Bradford showed he wasn't completely gone when he sent Kojo to her door with a birthday card. It was little, but it proved their story wasn't over yet. Season 7 changed everything for Lucy Chen. She got promoted to Police Officer 3 and began training rookie Seth Ridley. It showed that she was ready to guide someone else the way others once guided her. At the same time, her connection with Bradford kept building, and what started as a playful April Fool's prank between them ended with chaos across Los Angeles after a fake purge broadcast. Lucy stayed strong through it, fighting off attackers and saving lives, showing once again that she was never one to back down. Her personal life was just as messy as her job. Selena asked her to let Raj stay with them, and soon Lucy was pulled into chaos again, including the Wild Mansion party with Rachel Hall that only added to the weight she was already carrying. But through it all, she kept moving forward and decided to take the sergeant's exam. By Mutiny and the Bounty, Lucy passed and officially became Night Shift Sergeant. It was one of her biggest steps yet, and she threw herself into the role, refusing to let her new unit slack off and earning their respect as a leader. Through everything, her bond with Bradford kept growing deeper. He cooked for her, hinted at living together, and even kissed her while she slept. Season 7 of The Rookie ends without making it clear where Tim and Lucy really stand. Maybe the next episodes will show them starting fresh and finally moving in together, or maybe Season 8 will open with them having a real, honest talk, and this time with both of them fully awake and sober. Well guys, that's all about Lucy Chen on The Rookie. Let us know in the comments which character's story you want us to cover next. We'll be back soon with another video, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.